$4.29, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your interior or exterior, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store or shop the sale online. Delivery available on qualifying orders. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating.
Keep celebrating when you bundle and save with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
Everyone has a fave Wendy's Frosty flavor. And when you're choosing from chocolate or vanilla, it's not that hard. But now there's all new Frosty Swirls and Frosty Fusions. So try picking your fave from Oreo Brownie Fusion, Pop-Tarts Strawberry Fusion, Strawberry Swirl, Brownie Batter Swirl, Caramel Swirl, and Caramel Crunch Fusion. Not so easy now, huh? For a fresh way to Frosty, gotta be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later.
Participating U.S. Wendy's. Hours may vary by location. Oreo is a trademark of Mondelez International Group. Pop-Tarts is a trademark of Kellogg North America Co. LLC. Used with permission.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
This is Secret Clinical dominating extra stinky stress sweat. And this is regular deodorant. Secret Clinical in a heat wave. Oh, what a beautiful day. This is regular deodorant. Ugh, I can't. Secret Clinical with workout sweat. Let's run another marathon. And regular deodorant. How much more? Secret is the GOAT because nothing fights sweat better. Stay fresher under pressure.
You've got an app for your music, but what about your favorite morning show, sports team, or live local news and weather?
Things start to change.
Yep, there's an app for all that too. iHeartRadio. Download the #1 app for radio, the free iHeartRadio app.
Your one-stop for advertising? Call 844-844-iHeart.
Every pitch, hit, and run.
1-0 pitch. Otto lifts one out to right field and deep. Soto working back. Track wall. It is gone.
Marlins baseball is live on Fox Sports 940 and the iHeartRadio app.
We're the Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins #1.
1-0 pitch. Stowers cracks that one out to center and deep. Siri is back. He looks up and it's gone. The Marlins waste no time. Kyle Stowers with a 2-run shot, and they take a 2-0 lead in the first.
Miami Marlins baseball is on deck.
2-1. That kicks away from Rodriguez. Hill breaks for the plate. There will be no throw. And on a wild pitch, the Marlins walk it off again. 1-2. Conine lifts out to left field. Tommy Pham working back to the warning track. So is Sawinski. They look up and it's gone. Griffin Conine to left center. And we're tied at 2 in the 7th.
Marlins on deck. Brought to you by ADT, the official smart security partner of the Miami Marlins and Norwegian Cruise Line. Experience more at sea. Let's head out to the ballpark. Here's your host, Steven Strong.
All righty, here we go. Nice job, Ahmed. Welcome. We're live from Lone Depot Park in Miami on an 82-degree sticky Friday night. A cozy 77 degrees inside the broadcast booth on this 4th day of July. Happy Independence Day. You're listening to Miami Marlins baseball on the radio, Fox Sports 940 Miami. Game 86 of 162. The good times keep rolling. Miami secured a 4th consecutive series win yesterday afternoon over the Twins. We're calling it the Battle in the Midwest. Well, we took one out. We'll take another one out here this weekend. Clayton McCullough's squad has won 9 of the last 10 games and have sole possession of 3rd place now in the National League East. Again, the Battle of the Midwest continues here tonight, and we're pumped to bring you game 1 of a 3-game set between the 48 and 39 Milwaukee Brewers and your 39 and 46 Miami Marlins. Quinn Priester has bounced around from team to team over the last year, but he's found a home in Milwaukee after pitching to a 3 ERA over 15 games. It'll be Sandy Alcantara who will toe the rubber for Miami, hoping last start was a bump in the road after a string of 4 outings in the month of June that made us believe Sandy is back. We get going tonight at 7:10 right here on the Marlins Radio Network. Well, hi, everyone. Thanks for making Marlins on Deck a part of your Friday night with Jack McMullen and former Marlins All-Star Gabby Sanchez. I'm Steven Strom. Again, I'd love to wish you guys a happy 4th of July, 249 years old here today, the United States of America. We will get you a lineup for the show today. We got an action-packed, I fear, going the distance in a Power Pack broadcast because we did get a surprise visit from Peter Bendix, Marlins President of Baseball Operations. He joins our very own Jack McMullen. Excellent conversation on the way. They talk about the first half of the season and some takeaways. We'll get you out of the count with Priester and Sandy. Jack will jump in. Gabby's doing the car wash today on TV. X-Poll question of today at Marlins Radio and Steve's guarantee to victory. So let's do here where both teams are at coming into this 4th of July. For the Brewers, they started 0-4 to 2025, and you can argue Pat Murphy's Brews have been the most consistent team in baseball. The month of April, 16-11. The month of May, 15-13. The month of June, 16-9. Now, Milwaukee just dropped their first series in Queens for the first time since June 11th, but this is your classic Brew Crew. They don't slug a ton, but they always make the routine the routine. They sacrifice runners well. They field well. They're 5th in team walks. They can pitch. In a lot of ways, they are what the Marlins eventually want to become, a consistent playoff contender that don't beat themselves. For the Marlins, 7 games under. The Marlins have won 14 of the last 19 games, including 9 of the last 10. Since June 13th, only the Dodgers have a better record than the Marlins at 15-4. We saw Augustin Ramirez, who continues to slug, hit his 13th home run of the season. Of course, he leads all rookies. The last series win, though, was really about the arms. In 3 games, starters, 2-1, 19 innings, a 0.95 ERA. The bullpen was nails, 8 combined, 1.13 ERA. We're going to probably need to see the same thing for a 5th consecutive series win for the Marlins. A ton of credit, well, to the architect behind the roster, Peter Bendix. He joins us next to discuss the season thus far, some takeaways. That is coming up on the Marlins Radio Network.
ADT is the official smart security partner. 2-1. That one lifted out to left center field. Hill and Myers converging. Derek Hill calling for it. D. Hill's got it. And that is how this ball game ends. Horsepower on the hill. Edward Cabrera for 7, scoreless. Bender with a 1-2-3 8th. And Ronnie Enriquez does the same in the 9th. And for the first time since 2008, your Fightin' Fish have won 8 in a row.
Early. So they reacted and said, all right, let's go, breaking balls away.
First pitch, Stowers rips that one up the gut and through that hit the umpire Emil Jimenez. Jesus Sanchez around second. He comes in to score, but Jimenez is saying, hold on. Whoa. Hold on. That hit him on the leg. And that will, in all likelihood,
the bench, and they're like, no, we see you as a future starter.
1-1. That one rolled over to short. Could be 2. Lee on to second for 1. On to first. Not in time. The fielder's choice. And that brings in the first run. Xavier Edwards scores from third base. It is an RBI for Otto Lopez. He's right back on that RBI groove. A 6-4 fielder's choice. It's 1-0 Marlins in the bottom of the first.
Right up there. Oh, goodness.
1-2. Otto on the move again, and Augustine smacks the ball out to left center. No doubt about it. Lucky number 13 for Augustin Ramirez. An ambush. 425 feet on the homer, and it's 3-0 Fish right away. This roster, it's the youngest roster in Major League Baseball. A 1 pitch. Sanchez rips that one off the mound. That pinballs into.
God, it's good to be a Marlins fan right now. They've won 4 consecutive series, 9 of the last 10. Steven Strom here. Happy 4th of July to everyone out there. Take the Marlins wherever you go. Download the iHeartRadio app. Make Fox Sports 940 the top presets who listen to every Marlins game this season. It's Sandy Day. Today on this Friday night should be an awesome night at the ballpark. Fans are already here, getting ready for the festivities. We're going to have fireworks after the game, so it should be a good night. Hopefully the Marlins can come through with a victory. We mentioned it, the guy behind all of it, Peter Bendix, who is now in season 2 with the Marlins. You're starting to feel his influence and his presence. He has found diamond in the roughs, including Ronnie Enriquez. We have seen some different philosophies, and they have been working. Our very own Jack McMullen got a chance to catch up with Peter Bendix before today's game, and here's that conversation that begins right now.
Thank you very much, Steven. Here with the Marlins President of Baseball Operations, Peter Bendix. The boys are playing really well. They've won 9 of 10. Peter, I'm curious from your vantage, what's gone into this hot stretch of Marlins baseball?
I think we're playing really clean baseball. I think we're beating teams a lot of different ways. There's times that we're out slugging teams. There's times that we're out pitching teams. And when both sides of the ball are coming together at the same time, it leads to really good results and a lot of fun baseball.
How hard is it to find that harmony where the offense is going, the pitching is going simultaneously? Because usually we see one going and the other, there's something to be desired.
That's the best and worst thing about baseball. It's hard to get all aspects going at the same time. I think we have a young team. I think that with the young team comes inconsistency, but also comes stretches like this where everybody's playing really well.
We saw some inconsistency from Kyle Stowers last year after the trade deadline, and then in spring training we saw him struggle a little bit. Kyle hit the ground running. He struggled for about a month there. He didn't have a homer, and now he's come out the other end. What did your department really want to see Kyle hone in on this year, and what has he done to prove you guys right?
A lot of Kyle's success this year is directly attributable to his work well before this year. Last year, as he was struggling at the major league level, he kept working. He knew what the weaknesses were. He kept showing up and working hard at them. That was true in spring training too. And development isn't linear. Oftentimes it goes slow until something clicks, and then once something clicks, guys can take off.
What does the development look like at the major league level for someone like Agustin Ramirez? Because he came up because of a couple of injuries at the catching situation. He obviously made sure he stayed put, and he has been he's such a revelation for this team offensively. How does he continue to get better at the major league level?
Offensively, it's about seeing the league adjust to you, and then how are you going to make those adjustments? We saw a stretch maybe a week or so ago where he saw, I think, 14 sliders in one game, and that was all. And he came back and made adjustments to that so that if they tried that strategy again, he was ready for it.
Did you know what kind of guy you were getting in Agustin Ramirez when you made that trade with the Yankees last deadline?
We did. We had connections, people that had worked with him at the Yankees. Our director of player development, Rachel Balkovic, managed him in the minor leagues. That was a big component of why we wanted to acquire him. The person that he is, the leader that he is, and the work ethic that he has all suggest that he had a lot of room to improve, in addition to the fact that he was already very good.
Chatting with Peter Bendix. One of the guys that he is working with on the pitcher's mound is Edward Cabrera, and we're watching the best version of Cabby that we've seen in a Marlins uniform. Simply, why are we seeing this best version of Cabrera right now?
I mean, it really starts with Cabby himself. Development isn't linear. You never know when guys are going to take off. It's also the case that our pitching group, our pitching coach, Daniel Moskis, our director of pitching, Bill Hiesel, our assistant pitching coaches have done an absolutely tremendous job supporting Cabby, helping him understand what he's good at, getting him to buy in on our philosophy, getting him to understand he doesn't need to be fine in the strike zone, and supporting him when things go wrong, and telling him they still believe in him. They still think he could be one of the best pitchers in baseball.
We're chatting with the Marlins President of Baseball Operations, Peter Bendix. A couple more for you. We may see a possible future battery at Lone Depot Park at Truist Park in Atlanta next week in the Futures game. Thomas White and Joe Mack. First with Mack, this guy started the year in Double-A after hitting the ball really well in Double-A last year. He gets the quick bump to triple. He's really finding his stride right now. What impresses you about Joe Mack at the moment?
He's such a well-rounded, excellent player at a lot of different things, who is mature beyond his years and has great leadership qualities. Really hard to find in a catcher, really any player. And I think he's probably the youngest catcher in AAA and performing really well.
What excites you most about Thomas White?
Thomas White has as good stuff from the left side as you will find in the minor leagues. And to do that at age 20, to consistently improve, to strike out as many guys as he has, and to still have so much room for improvement, he could be a number one starter in the big leagues.
It's Amazing. Peter Bendix, last one for you. Jacob Marcia, name that is very buzzy right now in AAA. He's really hitting his stride with Jacksonville. Are there some other guys that jump out to you on that Jumbo Shrimp roster? Of course, they just took that first half crown in the International League.
Yeah, they've been playing great baseball in Jacksonville. Credit to that whole staff, the way they're just steamrolling teams. In addition to Jacob, Davison De Los Santos recently came off the IL. He's really honed in his approach. The power is top of the scale. Graham Pauley has gone down there and really hit the ball well. Troy Johnston's performed really well. Andrew Pintar's performed really well. It's a really tough lineup, 1 through 9.
Peter Bendix, really appreciate the time. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Stephen. Thank you very much.
All right, how
Stephen,
about that? Awesome stuff right there. Peter Bendix and Jack McMullen. So the big one I do want to, before we get to the count and break here, Kyle Stowers has been just outstanding, a revelation, as Jack McMullen would refer to. And we saw Kyle in the beginning of the year, and you look at his April and March splits, 323, 907 OPS, 4 home runs, 19 RBIs. Now, he went through it, quote unquote. And when I say go through it, even when I looked up these numbers, I was taken aback that these numbers aren't as bad as you would expect. Look, this is the struggling Kyle Stowers. Month of May for Stowers, 250 batting average, 6 home runs, 13 RBIs, 10 OPS, right? And it's like, okay, wait, no, it was at the end of May where he started to struggle. Okay, so let's look at his June numbers. And his June numbers hit 260 with 3 home runs, 11 RBIs, 843 OPS. So if this is the struggling, and this is what you look for in franchise players, I mean, it is what it is, right?
A lot of
they have to come up and produce. The league adjusts, and then you have to make that second adjustment. That's what separates the good and the great players. And the good and the great players, when they're going quote unquote through it in a struggle, the numbers look somewhat like this. The Marlins have had some questions going into 25. One of them is no longer Kyle Stowers. He is a guy that can play every single day and impact winning for the Miami Marlins. We will break here. We'll get you at the count with Quinn Priester and Sandy Alcantara. Marlins looking to continue this hot streak of baseball on the Marlins Radio Network.
Joe Ryan, a quick worker, rocks and fires. And Stowers hits one well, out to right and deep. Wallner is back at the track, and it's gone. Power stroke. What were we saying? Kyle Stowers, his 14th home run of the year. 0-2 is cut on and missed. A changeup that bottomed out, and he might have saved his best pitch for last. Edward Cabrera, K's Brooks Lee, and he's through 7 scoreless against the Twins. Assuming Agustin Ramirez's spot in the lineup. And the pitch, Fortes loops down the right field line. That is falling. That is in. A fair ball. Sanchez scores from third. Otto goes first to third. And Nick Fortes, welcome to the party. And there's a little bit of insurance. 2-1. That one lifted out to left center field. Hill and Myers converging. Derek Hill calling for it. D. Hill's got it. And that is how this ball game ends. Horsepower on the hill. Edward Cabrera for 7 scoreless. Bender with a 1-2-3 8th. And Ronnie Enriquez does the same in the 9th. And for the first time since 2008, your Fighting Fish have won 8 in a row.
DQ presents How to Make Your Summer Take Flight. Just head into DQ for a new Superman cake batter cookie dough blizzard treat. Treat your inner hero to an epic mix of sugar cookie dough, sprinkles, and cake batter flavor. Blend it all with legendary DQ soft serve, and it's enough to tempt Superman himself. Fly into DQ for our new Superman cake batter cookie dough blizzard treat before it's gone. And don't miss Superman, only in theaters July 11th. DQ, happy tastes good. Only at participating locations.
This is Clayton McCullough here, and you're listening to Marlins on Deck with Steven Strom on the Marlins Radio Network.
I got one of the better stories on my end.
maybe the bet. It could be a Mount Rushmore
and to do
hit
that
I do in this game today about Clayton McCullough and Pat Murphy. That's a heck of a tease. I know if you're with us now, you're going to be with us throughout the game. Marlins on deck here. Steven Strom, host of the program, Fox Sports 940 Miami. Ahmed breaking it down back in the studio, and I blamed him yesterday because he didn't work on that loss against the Twins. But a big response from Ahmed. It was not Ahmed's fault, okay? And by the way, he's back in the studio like I mentioned, so the Marlins should win. Jack McMullen, he will join us actually in the next segment. Gabby Sanchez, those two have your call at 7:10. Happy 4th of July, everybody. Let's get you ahead of the count. We'll start here with Quinn Priester, 24-year-old right-hander, former 18th overall pick in the 2019 draft by the Pittsburgh Pirates. He was traded to Boston on July 29th of last year, then traded to Milwaukee on April 7th of this year. He's pitched very well, 6-2, 3.35 ERA, 15 games, 11 starts, 78 innings pitched, 61 Ks to 28 walks for Priester. He did earn the win on Saturday after 7 shutouts. 11 Ks. It set a season high in both innings and Ks. Allowed no runs for the first time since April 15th. In June, he's been awesome. Similar to Sandy Alcantara. 4-0, 1.98 ERA, 29 Ks to 5 walks. Opponents this year hitting .232 against him. He did face Miami back in 2023. The big thing for Priester is he keeps it on the ground, 57.7%. We will see how the Marlins try to attack Quinn Priester. Sandy Alcantara, he will go opposite, 29-year-old right-hander who will make his 17th start of the season. 4-8, 6.98 ERA, over 80 innings pitched, 63 Ks, over 34 walks. Bump in the road last Saturday in Arizona, 6 innings, 10 hits, 7 runs, 4 Ks, and no walks. The previous 4, again, similar to Priester, in 4 starts, 23 innings pitched combined, 2.74 ERA. Career-wise against Milwaukee Brewers, Sandy is 2-1 with a 1.55 ERA, 4 career starts against the Brewers. Quinn Priester, Sandy Alcantara. They will kick off the festivities here on the 4th of July. Marlins looking to win yet another series. They've won 4 consecutive, and coming up next, we will hear from Clayton McCullough on what is the key to Sandy's bounce back here tonight, plus Jack McMullen and his takeaways from his conversation with Peter Bendix. Marlins on deck continues right here on the Marlins Radio Network.
For him tonight, he set at the letters on his first pitch. That one a rocket. That's a fair ball as well down the left field line, and that's going to plate a run. It took a little bit, but Gurriel fires it back in now, and Agustin Ramirez trades places with Otto Lopez. Back-to-back 2-out doubles. We're tied at 1 in the top of the 4th. 116.9. Stowers rips one out to straightaway center. Thomas working back. He's not going to get there, and it one hops off the wall. It's a double party right now. Augustine in from second. That's 3 straight 2-out doubles against Merrill Kelly, and the Fish have a 2-1 lead in the 4th. And the first pitch. Otto swinging away, little dribbler, left side of the mound. Kelly off the hill, picks it on the bare hand, throws it into right field, and a couple runs are going to score. X around third, he gets the stoplight there. Otto pushes to second. Merrill Kelly tried to be a hero, and it cost him another run. 2-2. Stowers hits that one a mile out to right and deep. That is gone. Halfway up the bleacher seats, just over the Marlins bullpen, and Kyle Stowers is as hot as a match. Lucky number 13 on the year. 401 feet, and the Marlins take a lead 5-4 in the top of the 6th. You never got one? Javier Sanoja pumps one in left center field. That's going to split the outfielders, and that will roll to the wall. Norby around third. He's getting the run around home. Sanoja headed into third base. Feet first slide takes him in, and it's an RBI triple for Javi. 6-4 Fish in the top of the 6th. He fires, and Hernandez rockets one out to left field. That's carrying, and it's gone. A couple rows, that's all he needed, but it's over.
Back here on the 4th of July, what's better than this? Marlins baseball in Miami. As we continue this homestand, Miami taking 2 out of 3 against the Minnesota Twins. They will welcome in the Brewers here for 3. Quinn Preacher will go opposite Sandy Alcantara. Stephen Strom, Jack McMullen with us now. Hey, happy 4th of July, man.
Happy 4th, in the words of Jim Harbaugh. Who's got it better than us?
Nobody. That's a great quote. And, I don't know how to translate. I was going to try to smoothly transition from that to like Sandy.
You can. Try. Just try. Let's see how it goes.
It's okay. So Sandy Alcantara will start tonight. And, Jack, we've seen him in the month of June really pitch well. The last one against Arizona, I want to say it's a bump in the road, 10 hits, 7 runs. It was a tough one for him, but the previous 4 were really good. We heard Clayton McCullough earlier this afternoon. I want to get to that sound right now, plus some reaction on what the key for a bounce back looks like for Sandy Alcantara.
Doing what he was doing during that good run. I think it was. We just saw him filling up the strike zone with much more regularity. The misses were much smaller than early in the season, and we believe that will continue. Outside of that, the one inning in Arizona where he had count leverage and just really did maybe just didn't make some pitches in spots to put some guys away, and they did a nice job of staying on some balls and using the middle of the field and strung some hits together. Again, for Sandy today, key to success will be filling up the strike zone early and often. Doing what he was doing during that good run. I think it was. We just saw him filling up the strike zone with much more regularity. The misses were much smaller than early in the season, and we believe that will continue. Outside of that, the one inning in Arizona where he had count leverage and just really did maybe just didn't make some pitches in spots to put some guys away, and they did a nice job of staying on some balls and using the middle of the field and strung some hits together. Again, for Sandy today, key to success will be filling up the strike zone early and often.
All right, I think we heard that twice.
Yeah, so good.
But that was on StreamYard. That's not on Ahmed. That's on me. Bad job by me there. But, Jack, just looking at Milwaukee's offense and how they operate and looking at what Sandy did last week in Arizona, what did you like from what Clayton McCullough had to say, and how would you expand from what he said?
Yeah, so I love that he mentioned that he's got to be back in the strike zone, but he also has to be disciplined within the strike zone. And it's the whole control versus command thing that we've been talking about with Sandy Alcantara, right? It's like, he was outside the strike zone entirely, and he was walking 4. He walked 4 guys on opening day against the Pirates at this ballpark. And then he had other 4 walk outings. You remember that start at Dodger Stadium? He was spiking everything that he was throwing.
Yeah.
The release point was just off. Okay, so what changed? He got in the strike zone. But then he was too over the heart of the plate, and guys started to really hit him hard. I'm glad we didn't revert to the first version of Sandy we saw, because you're never going to win with walks. You can have guys hit into outs. But there was a stretch there of 4 or 5 starts where Sandy was getting hit very hard because he was over the heart of the plate. Then he started to find the perimeter, and it really worked. That was a reversion back to the second iteration of Sandy that we saw. I think he went back to the middle Sandy. Yep. I want to see him get back to that perimeter of the strike zone Sandy.
And hopefully we see what we've seen the last couple of days, Jack. And it could be the Twins offense. We got to give a ton of credit to the Miami Marlins starters. 2-1, 19 innings pitched combined, 0.95 ERA over 3 against the Twins. Now, you had a chance to chat with Marlins president of baseball operations, Peter Bendix. We heard it. It was awesome. What'd you take from the conversation?
I love chatting with him because he has his finger on the pulse of the Marlins organization. And, it's a really hard job to be in. It's a really hard job to always hear everybody trying to GM on Twitter or trying to GM elsewhere. Yeah. You turn on talk radio, all of a sudden everybody's trying to do your job. And at the end of the day, you know things that plenty of other people do not know about this game. And you hire people that know the things that you don't know. And it's so much fun hearing from Peter how the perception around players is blossoming, and he kind of lays the foundation for that to blossom. Augustine Ramirez was in Somerset, New Jersey last year at this point. And then he goes to Scranton, Pennsylvania. And guess what? Now he might be the National League Rookie of the Year. It's amazing to see the groundwork that goes into these types of acquisitions and these types of rosters. There's a ton of team control here. There's a ton of pre-arbitration eligible players that are playing the heck out of the baseball right now. I mean, it is so much fun to watch Kyle Stowers do his thing, Augustine Ramirez do his thing, and then in the minor leagues as well, Joe Mack, Thomas White. It has just been a joy.
Yeah, and I think you hit on it, Jack. His ability, not only with the trades, Connor Norby, Augustine Ramirez, Kyle Stowers, but his ability to identify talent and what works here, Ronnie Enriquez and Otto Lopez. He's got this, like you said, he's got the pulse of the franchise right now. and you're really starting to feel the influence of Peter Bendix. And, of course, winning helps. But I just think outside, and we talked with Clayton McCullough today, outside of one game, I think, in Pittsburgh, every game is competitive. And a lot of winning lately with the Marlins winning 14 of their last 19. They will see if they can continue that against. This is a tough test, and the Milwaukee Brewers are not going to beat themselves, and the Marlins are going to have to play really sharp tonight against Quinn Priester and company. We will break here. We'll get to our Expo question at Marlins Radio, Steve's Guarantee, and then Jack and Gabby have your call at 7:10. It's the 4th of July, and the Marlins are looking to win yet another game on the Marlins Radio Network.
Hey, it's the good 1-2. Both runners on the move. Augustine slaps one down the right field line. Long run for McCarthy. He's not going to get there. It short hops the wall, and it gets over the wall. Both runners were off and moving. Sanchez will score from second. It was a ground rule double. That'll send Otto Lopez back to third base, but it is an RBI for Augustine Ramirez, and 4 hitters in. It's 2-0 pitch. 108 plus every time. 1-0 pitch. That one a line drive. That's a fair ball. Down the left field line. Gurriel tracking it into the corner. Blake Lally going to send Stowers. Here comes the relay throw home. It's bobbled by the shortstop Perdomo in shallow left. And that is an RBI double for Eric Wagner.
And chucks it towards first or home plate.
2-1. That one lifted out to right field and deep. McCarthy is back at the track. And that is gone. Otto Lopez is on fire right now. Make it a 9-game hitting streak, and he cuts the Marlins deficit in half. It's a 2-run home run the other way, and it's 7-5 Arizona in the top of the 8th. 1-1. That one a line shot right up the gut and throw for a base hit, and all of a sudden it's a 1-run game. Augustine Ramirez scores from third base. Liam Hicks, the other catcher, drives him in. It's an RBI knock, 7-6. After a 3-spot in the top of the 8th. 1-2. Hernandez swings. He lifts one out to right. That should be deep enough. McCarthy gearing it up. Jake McCarthy makes the catch. He sails the throw home. Myers with a head first dive. First pitch from Murillo to Ramirez. That one a bouncing ball. That's past the glove of the first baseman Smith into right field for a base hit. They're sending Otto. McCarthy's throw is cut off. Head first dive takes Otto in, and Augustine Ramirez.
Back here on Friday night in Miami. Lone Depot Park is our location as the Marlins continue this homestand. Took 2 out of 3 against the Minnesota Twins. Marlins have won 14 of their last 19 games. They've won 4 consecutive series. Steven Strom, Gabby Sanchez, Jack McMullen, Fox Sports 940 Miami. Quinn Priester will go opposite Sandy Alcantara. Let's get to our Expo question today at Marlins Radio. What number birthday is this for the United States? Make sure to vote at Marlins Radio. All right, Ahmed, it is time for Steve's Guarantees.
Batter up. Batter up.
Let's play some ball.
First pitch is moments away. Time now for Steve's Guarantees.
I like Jesus Sanchez tonight to continue his hot bat, 5 for 11 in that Twins series, and I like this matchup against Quinn Priester. They're going to have to get him up in the air again. Quinn Priester, 57% on the ground rate, so I like Sanchez with 2+ hits. I don't love Sandy Alcantara to go quality start, but I do like him to go 5 innings tonight, less than 3 runs. Good bounce back for Sandy after a rough start in Arizona, 6 innings, 10 hits, 7 runs. But previous 4 in June, 23 combined innings pitched, a 2.74 ERA. Folks, I hope you got the itch for first pitch, because when we come back, Jack McMullen paints a picture. Gabby Sanchez, he's ready to rock. Starting lineups in first pitch is right around the corner. Thanks for tuning in to the Marlins On Deck pregame show. I'm Steven Strom. Let's flip the M together. 4 consecutive series wins. Let's freaking go. Marlins baseball is next. This is the Marlins Radio Network.
Find what you love and